That's still like shocking to me, you know. I still remember like the first time I witnessed this, I went to like a Q Square food court, and that's how they like reserve the seats. You know, they put your phone down and then they go and like they take the food and just like to make sure that their seat is like still there. Oh my God. The first time I saw it, I was like, someone left their phone. Like we should like grab it and like do something. And then I was just like looking up the same table, and there was like 6 phones like on the same long table. And I'm like, what is going on? You know?
No, but if it comes to the AirPods or the phone, I would take the AirPods, or maybe I have
it never crossed your mind that you can just like take the plate and just maybe wait 20 seconds to get a seat.
Sometimes it's, you need that seat, you know.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to 外国人介绍台湾新闻, and welcome back to Taiwan for me, because I actually spent 2 weeks back home in Sweden. But since I am an ambitious and hardworking foreigner, I do want to come back here to Taiwan, since Taiwan is the best country in the world for career-oriented expats. Aki and Yuanyuan again. We called Yuanyuan guest last time, but he's here again. He's the permanent guest so far in this show. More or less hardworking foreigners, all 3 of us. Taiwan has recently been named number 5 destination to live and work abroad, with Taiwan being the best place in the world for career-oriented expats specifically, with the motivation that they enjoy the job security, a strong local economy, and fair pay at work. So I guess my question to you is, are you satisfied with your job life here in Taiwan?
I couldn't complain because it's true, the economy is really stable.
Yeah, I don't think I could complain either.
You're French, you should just be like out protesting for whatever.
So one thing to mention is I feel in Taiwan there's generally a differentiation between Taiwanese companies and a thing called Waishang, which is like foreign companies in Taiwan. I don't know if I should generalize, but people say generally those foreign companies in Taiwan have maybe a little bit better work culture or a little bit better work benefits. At least that's the case for me. So I would say I'm quite lucky I don't have to do overtime. And we do have quite nice benefits overall. For example, we have like fitness subsidy or annual trip paid by the company. I cannot complain. I know I should not complain, right?
No, you shouldn't.
you shouldn't. Yeah, because I was just thinking like this is like the worst kind of people, because like, I mean, you have a full-time real job, but like both me and Aki, like we're outside of like the Taiwan job market, you know, because like we created like our own jobs, you know.
I have a friend from Germany. She said that working with a Taiwanese company so far was really, really good, including them into programs like learning Chinese and bus tours around Taiwan where they can learn more about Taiwan, make them more feeling at home. I think there are really, really good companies out there who really try to include foreigners into Taiwan.
If a company is willing to hire a foreigner, probably they are also interested in that aspect, right? They don't just hire for a normal worker. They hope to get someone who has a different point of view on things, maybe bring different ideas. So I think as a foreigner, if you come here to work for the first time, you should probably have an open-minded attitude. Expect that, you know, things might be different from what you know, but also know that when they hire you, it's because they want you to behave as a foreigner, kind of. So don't be afraid to speak up or share what you think.
Yeah, so I was just gonna add to that, because previously I had an interview with like a headhunter. It was like the first thing you said was like,
I think that you have to sacrifice your career in a way to work here. But the quality of living here is just so good. I mean, there's a reason we're both still here.
Okay, sacrificing your career to gain more life value.
That's right. So for example, somebody like me, I could work in Singapore and Shanghai and make a lot more money, but I don't want to because I love living here.
In percentage then, how happy are you with your work life here in Taiwan? Let's see if you agree with the surveys here.
In percentage?
In percentage.
Whoa. 69, I guess.
69?
I would say 75%. Salary-wise, you can always expect a little bit more, you know. Inflation has come and makes everything a bit more difficult, but I think it's not bad, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer, but the average, 78%.
Okay.
78% were feeling happy. That was the overall happiness level.
But it's only the work environment or the...
Living and working abroad.
Yeah, well, then I have to raise my number, I guess.
Okay, to 78. The main thing, as I mentioned, was previously like strong job security, which doesn't really
Imply to us, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really work for me and Aki. I feel like my personal job security is like the lowest I've ever had, ever. And it is like literally don't even know if I will have a paycheck next week or not.
Because you're a YouTuber.
Because I'm a YouTuber, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But then 31% of respondents wanted more flexibility in Taiwan's business culture.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to talk about it, about the 4 days of work per week.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
coming there.
Yeah.
Skipping ahead now. I'm just going to get one more number here.
Yeah.
Now, this is a general like life in Taiwan. Percentage again. How unsafe do you feel in Taiwan?
I feel very safe in Taiwan in general.
A normal life, I would say close to 100%. I almost never felt unsafe really in Taiwan, except for work. So I know before I had my permanent ARC, because if you get fired as a foreigner, you know, you lose a lot of things and you have 6 months, maybe up to 1 year where you have to find the next job. And after I got APRC and also got a few more years of experience, I feel much safer because APRC you can stay forever, you know, in Taiwan.
The only number they had here which was standing out was like in your normal life, then 0 people were feeling unsafe in Taiwan. So everyone said they're 100% safe.
If I don't include my work, then 100% true, because I can always leave my phone on McDonald's table and just go to the toilet for an hour and it's still there.
Very specific for McDonald's.
Yeah, because I just had that recent experience.
Yeah, that's still like shocking to me, you know. That was like, I still remember like the first time I witnessed this, I went to like Q Square food court, and that's how they like reserve the seats. You know, you put your phone down and then they go and like they take the food and you just like to make sure that their seat is like still there. And I was like, oh my God, the first time I saw it, I was like, someone left their phone, like we should like grab it and like do something. And then I was just like looking up the same table and there was like 6 phones like on the same long table. And I'm like, what is going on, you know?
I really seldom leave my phone. I would always consider like, okay, what's the least valuable thing I can leave on this table? You know, maybe it's the AirPods or like, I don't know, my umbrella.
So you've done it with the AirPods?
AirPods, yes. I mean, it's AirPods 2, it's very old, it's okay. It's almost giving me a reason to buy a new one if somebody steals.
Okay, now this is the guy who has 2 jobs. this is how we can tell he has 2 jobs.
No, but if it comes to the AirPods or the phone, I would take the AirPods, or maybe I have
it never crossed your mind that you can just like take the plate and just maybe wait 20 seconds to get a seat.
Sometimes it's, you need that seat, you know?
Okay. And if we are taking this up one level, looking more at the bigger picture, Taiwan has a shortage of skilled workers. And at the same time, they do have 4-day work week petition, which got like cut down quite fast, if I read the news right. So they will not suggest a 4-day work week in the overall working culture. Thoughts? Any yes or no comments? And what can we do else to maybe increase the number of skilled workers here in Taiwan?
4 days a week? I don't think that's a good idea.
Why not?
What will you do with your free time?
Oh, like a different opinion here. I mean, regarding 4 days per week, I actually considered this myself because as a YouTuber, I feel it would probably help me a lot if I had this 1 extra day. Of course, you get paid only 80%, so you have to accept to lower your salary. Also, I know like I have a lot of colleagues who had kids, so they get good benefits. For example, they can take a 2-month break during the year. Some of them have had 3 or 4 kids, so it's like in those 10 years I have been working in a company, they have had like 2-month break like 5 times, you know. Unfortunately, I don't have kids, so I don't deserve to have any break. To have
you're gonna have like all the moms watching this now. It's not a break. It's not a break. I would kill someone to go back to the office and finally get a break.
Yeah, I'm sure it's difficult. But I guess a little bit more flexibility in the work time. You said that it was immediately rejected, right? So I feel that's a bit too sad. At least people should have an opportunity to request it.
I think it would be smarter to have more days of paid vacation.
Yeah.
Like where you can choose the days where you want to go. I think that's better than the 4 days.
We have much more in Europe overall.
So I went back to Sweden in February, and then now in like July, like my friends who just had kids, they were on like maternity leave in February, and they're still on maternity leave now. And I was like, okay, so like, what do you do? And she's like, I told you in February, I'm like on maternity leave right now. And I was like, shit, in Taiwan, I don't even know what it is, but like 1 or like maximum 2 months, I think. Okay, so 2 things here, because you said you work 4 days, obviously you will only get paid for 4 days. But actually, at least in Sweden, when we have tried this, it has been 4 days, but you still get paid for 5.
But you work
yeah.
less hours?
You work 4 days as normal, like 8 hours per week, 8 hours per day, but you still get paid like the full amount.
Oh, really?
But what they have noticed in these, like, it's just individual companies now. Like this made like huge news like a few years ago, but it's not like a government thing. It's just like individual companies. The companies who were part of this like pilot program, they also increase in like efficiency and an increase in the output of the employees. So they worked like 4 days, they got more output than if they would be working for 5 days. But with that said, they did not extend these programs, which I would assume is just because they just knew it was like time limited. Of course, you will like just go all in for like that minimum time, thinking that like later on you will get like 4 days. I'm positive that's like the reason for it. In Belgium, they also had a 4-day week, but you work the same number of hours as if you've been working for 5 days.
Ooh.
So instead of working 8 hours per day, you work 10 hours a day for 4 days.
Yep.
And then you're off on Friday. My mom actually, they did a similar at her company in Sweden, but they did like only 1 hour extra per day. So you work like 9 hours per day, Monday to Thursday, and then you have Friday afternoon off because you already worked that in. Honestly, Taiwanese people already work 10 hours per day for like 4 days. So I feel like if they would actually follow that, it would be no different for Taiwanese people, and they will all get like Friday off with no difference like Monday to Thursday.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there any other thing then that Taiwan could do? Any other perks or things that you think might help?
I think in general, more paid vacation.
How is it in Germany?
We have like 25.
Days per year.
Yeah, paid. So
YouTubers? 0. Yeah, another thing as well, like that I noticed, because all my Swedish friends have vacation now. I think they have like 6 weeks vacation. I think that's like the standard of at least my friends. And the thing is, like, they're being encouraged to take all those 6 weeks at the same time.
Huh?
Yeah, this is what all Taiwanese people are saying too, like, huh? And that was such a shock for me because, you know, I'm trying to like make like plans with my friends here, like Union or like the few other people I have who has like real jobs. As soon as they try to take like more than 2 days off, like together, they'll be like, no, like I cannot. So like the vacation days they have is just for like 1 day here and there. I'm gonna go to the dentist 1 day. I'm gonna like, you know, I don't know, take care of my kid, I don't know, 1 day. But in Sweden, it's like everyone is encouraged to take like minimum 4 weeks or like ideally like just all 6 weeks together.
Why?
Because then, to the story is that of course everyone wants to take vacation during the summer because that's like the nicest weather in Sweden. Because we have like summer workers, we call it like summer jobs. So it's for like students or like for like younger people who would then come in and just work during the summer when they're off. And then it's much easier for the companies to plan like, okay, here we have like 4 weeks, here we have 6 weeks, and then we find a summer like intern basically who will work for like 4 to 6 weeks. And that's it. And then they're gone. From my point of view, it's amazing for the students because it's very easy to get a summer job in Sweden because there's so many jobs opening up because everyone is encouraged to just don't work during the summer. And then of course the workers wants to have 4 or 6 weeks off, especially during the summer when their kids is off on summer vacation as well. And one more thing, which might be the most important, which I forgot right now.
I think having 4 weeks off straight is also something super nice to disconnect. In Taiwan, I almost never do this. And it's true that taking only 2 days or 3 days, you don't really have time to even stop thinking about work. First day, you still get some emails, you reply a few texts. Second day, third day, and you're back at work. You have no break. So yeah, I get that.
I totally forgot what a normal job feels like.
But I do have one more perk, which is why foreigners should come here to Taiwan. And that is because Taiwan has the world's best healthcare. But I think that's a topic for another video. Thank you all so much for watching. That was everything we had to talk about today. But if you have any more news or updates or anything else Taiwan related that you may or may not want to hear some foreigners' opinions about, please do reach out to our social media or just leave a comment down below and maybe we'll talk about that in the next episode. But if you cannot wait until then, you actually have another video right here and another one right here, which you both can watch right now. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lukas. It starts with L as in like, ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both, and see you all in the next one.